It's day 27 of designing a Pokopia Cloud Island in 30 days, and it is the first day of the end of this challenge. That's because yesterday we built this gym, and it represented the last empty plot in my city, my pre-planned plot for all the things I wanted to build in here, leaving me with just a lot of other random big projects. And look, we have some horrendous examples of disorganization over in this direction. A bridge with unfinished support beams, houses with sunken foundations, unfunded construction projects, and worst of all, Pokemon who have to take refuge on the streets and in train stations. And listen, that's just this one area. So this entire challenge, I've just been kind of building things and going, all right, well, I'll fix this and that later. Well, later has come and we need to get to work. So the first thing we're going to do today is start terraforming for our underfunded construction project. Now, this is going to be a tough one because this is not an ideal place for this. This is the big pyramid that's going to house Moltres. And I put it here kind of temporarily because I wanted it tucked in this little hillside because it's already kind of terraformed for us. There's not much to do to prep this land over here, but there's a whole bunch to do right here. We have to basically go from the beach and build a platform for this to sit on and somehow make that look natural. I'll head home and get my excess blocks. We are just gonna have to be moving some blocks around. The blocks I take from the mountainside will help us build the platform underneath the corner that's missing some blocks. Yeah, but back home, I should have some blocks that kind of fit that terrain and that vibe, and we'll use those kind of as our foundation. This alone will be a pretty big project, but after we get it started, we'll be able to move on to some of the other things I've been putting off over there. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to start with this corner over here, or if I want to start with like the cliffs and stuff so I have more maybe dirt to work with. The reason it's even a question is because I grabbed some of this coarse rock, which I'll never use for anything else, and I figured this could be good filler for like all the stuff under here. There's no reason I can't make this hollow, by the way. I just feel wrong doing that. It feels like I should fill it in and not leave it hollow and empty. I don't know, or maybe I just get over it. Okay, the key to terraforming the edges of this, it's going to be to get to like the top layer, and then we'll go down from there, and we're basically just gonna shear off the sides of this cliff, and then we might scale it back even more to make it look natural again. If you take it one side at a time, it's pretty easy. So that's what it looks like if you just take the lazy way out and just shear it off like that. But again, I do want this to look somewhat natural. I don't have a ton of room to kind of dig into this. As you can see, I have a house right here, so I need to be careful. But yeah, I think what this is just a matter of kind of like taking blocks and kind of pulling them out in sections. I mean, kind of like it looks over here, but more over here. That's what it looks like when you just kind of make like a small effort to add some more variation to these textures over here. Maybe we can take away a little bit more here. This kind of looks like a staircase, so I might get rid of like some of the blocks right up top here. And then it's just a matter of adding some grass to the top. That'll make it look like it's been like this the whole time. Oh, and of course, some soil underneath it, so it looks a little more, a little more natural. Okay, there. One side is done. I think that is art. Now, these structures always leave extra space on the sides, like on the edges. So there is always a chance I can add more blocks here as well, but I'm not gonna know how many to add until I get this thing built. So that side was a lot. This side over here is almost done for me. There's really not a lot to shave away at all. We can just roll right through here, and most of the terrain is already kind of naturalized. Yeah, if that side can look like that, then I think this side can look like this. And no problems there. All right, now for this side, which is kind of the opposite problem. We have a little bit to shave away, but we have a lot more to add over here. Okay, and already this is looking pretty good. I probably wouldn't make many changes at all here. Maybe take away these two blocks and replace these ones with grass just to give, you know, them a little more depth. And that's it, maybe? Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, let's start adding terrain now. By boosting cut so we can get rid of these flowers nice and quick. With all the bramble cleared, I can start to think about adding some terrain. So this is where I'm gonna put these like coarse rocks that don't really fit this environment. We're just gonna put them in the middle, where we know the pyramid's gonna be sitting on top of them. No one will ever see them. While it is possible to leave corners like that hollow, a flat surface is absolutely mandatory for building this type of project. That was all the coarse stone I brought. Still, we're not quite there yet. But I'm glad to have gotten rid of some finally. Okay, it's almost ready to build upon. There is a random assortment of blocks in the middle, but what I've done is I've gone across the edges, just on like the first two tiles, and kind of made it a combination of grass or this more barren dirt. And those two textures right there will kind of match the environment. So I'm imagining the pyramid sits on it, and it probably exposes maybe 1 to 2 of those blocks. So that's why I kind of did that. We need to do the same thing over here now. And yeah, I think what we'll do is literally just with these grass blocks, I will just like make a lazy platform, right? And we'll just go around it like this. So this should just about satisfy the criteria of this building sitting upon a flat surface. We just have to do a little more work right up here, and we should be good to go. Okay, it's ready. All we need to do now is get our group of Pokemon over here to build it. Of course, we have to supply it, so I need to get a little more copper, it looks like, and some lava rocks. I think I have lava rocks at home. I don't know if I have copper ingots anymore. I might need to go get some. I was just passing through, and Smeargle's old home was shaking and moving. Let's see what we get. Oh, Chatot. This is a fantastic Pokemon. Okay, I'm excited about that. Hype and Fly. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna need you or not. I'm gonna go ahead and have you follow me. I have the train cars over here. And yeah, I need to collect my group of Pokemon, so this is perfect timing. Okay, I only have 27 lava rocks, and I need 50, so that's not gonna work. And I have 9 copper ingots, so that's not gonna work. We are extremely fortunate that both of the things I need are in the same plushy island. There's a little bit of good news in that I've accidentally mined up some copper deposits that I never did anything with, so at the very least, we can like get a little bit of copper going before we leave. We'll build it up and we'll tear it down. Before we leave, we'll start assigning Pokemon to this build though. I am primarily here for Tinkaton. Oops, I grabbed the wrong Pokemon here. But yeah, you can come too. We'll bring these 3. They all have different abilities that can help us, and we'll grab a couple of fire types on the way back too. Looks like the Charmander family is kind of busy right now. I'm going to have to reassign them, so we're going to get all this copper smelted. None of this is quite working out the way I wanted. I was trying to get Charmeleon to follow me, and instead Charizard followed me, and that's not good because Charizard can't ride the mine carts. So I'm just going to go. We may lose them on this journey. That's just gonna have to be fine. At least our train track essentially comes up right to where we need everybody to be, so it's not gonna be too bad getting folks over here. It looks like I've satisfied all the abilities except for Crush. We just gotta get a Pokemon that can Crush, and Geodude is right up the hill, so not worried about that. And then from there, it's just whoever. So yeah, this won't be too bad. Let's go to the Arcanine Island and get the supplies we need. We're primarily here for Lava Rock, but can we find a rare Pokemon as well? No, of course not. I'm quite surprised at the lack of exposed Lava Rock. Here's some, finally. I did the caves already. There was no exposed Lava Rock in there. I'm hoping some of it's buried in the cliff. Like if I just go ahead and like roll my way through all this rock, maybe I'll find more of it. But I don't know. Maybe it's a little more rare than I was giving it credit for. I don't remember how much I had back home. 35 might be enough, but I'm worried. Let me just try to roll through some of this rock and ash and see if I can find more. Yeah, I didn't find any. I don't think I've searched every single block on this entire mountain, but I've definitely dug around underneath for a while. Didn't find any. Who knows? Maybe it's like the gravel, where it's not immediately obvious, but if you dig down a certain depth, you'll find some. I don't need that much. And I also stole a few big boulders too, the lava ones, the molten rock boulders right here. If you break these open, they also give you the lava rocks. So between those and the 35s I have, I'm hoping that's enough just to get this build done. I'll also need that copper. Charizard's still working on it over here. Only 8 ingots though. So no, wait a minute. You're gonna need to, hold on. No, oh shoot. No, you'll need to follow me. Excuse me. Nothing's going according to plan today. Not a single thing. Let's bring over our next 5 Pokemon to help with the build and see that we are, yeah, still shy on copper. Thankfully, we did get enough lava rocks, though. That's okay. Plenty to do while we wait for that copper to smelt. I do love coming to this village to ask Pokemon to help build stuff. It's just such a nice village. I'm really patting myself on the back about it because I think it came out wonderful, especially as far as builds go in this place where most of them are unfinished. This is the most finished a build has been from me, and I'm proud of it. Oh my gosh, Diglett and Dugtrio are like just messing around on the side of the hill. They can dig into the ground and pop out on another layer. I didn't know they could do that. That's really funny. With this project fully staffed, I'm going to be able to go around and start finishing up the naturalizing of the terrain around it. I don't want to leave that for another time and never get to it. When it comes to leaving the area underneath this hollow, I just don't feel good about that at all, but I will put some junk blocks down here and I won't sweat that. So I kept all of my like blocks that I mined up while we were on that trip to the Arcanine Island a little bit ago. Normally I'd try to like clean out my inventory. I'm trying to make a habit of doing that more. But this is perfect. This I can just go ahead and use to just fill all of this in. I'm gonna leave a pillar like that, and this is like my barrier to let me know, hey, don't put any of this rock past this point because it could be visible. It feels so silly to make this solid. Let me tell you my logic. Listen, other than the fact that it just doesn't feel right to leave it hollow, in the future, there's always a chance I go, hey, wouldn't it be fun to build like a cave base? Ooh, right under Moltres like lava tower or whatever, the pyramid. What if we made it under that? And then we forget that this is like a big hollowed out area, and we come back and it's like, oh, I forgot how lame I was leaving that all hollowed out. I don't know. That's my thought process. Okay, now I don't have a ton of barren ordinary soil, so I'm gonna need to save this for, you know, moments like this where I'm gonna want to like leave some barren ordinary soil exposed. So what we can use instead are the cliff rocks. We have a ton of cliff rock from earlier, so we can use this. We also have spotted cliff rock as well. And if I had that soil, I would start from this layer and bring that up, but I don't. So I'm just gonna keep using cliff rock around the entire area because we're gonna cover most of it with grass and stuff, so we may as well just go ahead and use this. Okay, that's where we're at now, and now we just need to somehow make this look natural. So here's how I'm going to go about this. We're going to use cliff rock, and anything that's exposed at like cliff rock that we want to change out, we can just change out with grass and stuff. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start like down here, and we're just going to like make an area that looks kind of similar to what we did up here, right? Where it's flat. You can tell it's been like sheared off of like a larger structure, but at least it looks somewhat natural. That's kind of what I'm going to go for with this. To make it work, we're just going to need some height variance, some jagged edges. Now, already this looks a lot better. We'll bring it out a little bit. We'll kind of add to it right here. We can take this corner off right here. That'll help a tiny bit. Yeah, I'd say that looks like something. An effort was made, and that's all we're really going for. I have a ton of this grass, so we'll go ahead and just place this on the top layer of all the little cliff blocks. And then I'll be really sad that I don't have enough barren soil to put underneath it to make it look even more natural. I can always make more, of course. It's just, it's tedious. Yeah, but it definitely needs, it definitely needs soil underneath. All right, we'll use what we have. And that was it. That's all we had. We just were able to put like a row of it at the top. Okay, I'll make more. If you're wondering how to make more, it's pretty simple. You just use rototiller. Oh. You can't rototill the dead grass. Even better. Oh, good. Yeah, that's awesome. Normally, to get more of a soil that doesn't have grass on top, you would rototill it, then smash it, and you'd be left with that soil. But that's not how this works, because it's not technically supposed to be used as a decorating block, is it? This is more of like a block that has its own set of rules and functions, and I don't like it. We've already established that when it rains, the entire aesthetic of this place is going to be ruined. So it's just, it's such an annoying mechanic. Charmander had bricks for me. You made this whole journey just with bricks in your pocket like that. I feel so bad. All right, we're stealing soil from over here. Instead of having the grass and soil kind of mixed together like that, I'm gonna go ahead and be lame and just take it. I'm just gonna take the soil I was using as a decoration. Again, it doesn't matter. It's gonna rain at some point. It's gonna rain and ruin everything. Okay, we have a lot more soil to play with now, so we can really make this place look how I want it to look. I do want to leave some cliff rock exposed, though, of course, and I don't want like all of it to be covered up by soil. But I think having, again, more height variation in the form of like grass and cliff rock and things like that definitely adds to the build. Let's do one more thing. Let's add some of this spotted cliff rock up here. And yeah, for now, that's pretty good. I added some spotted cliff rock. We have regular cliff rock. We got grass. We got soil. And, you know, from a distance, it still looks very square, but it's nowhere near as obvious and terrible as it was. Also, we probably killed enough time to get that copper from Charizard, so let's see if that's done. All right, buddy, where are you at? 21. Okay, that should definitely be enough. Okay, and indeed it was enough. The Altar of Flame is now officially under construction. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. You won't even feel this. I don't even know why I'm mentioning it, but I'm going to give myself a little break. I'm gonna come back. This will be done, and I have another project I want us to start today. And I just got the alert that the Altar of Flame has been built. I wasn't sleeping, you were sleeping. Even though I timed my break perfectly, I need to go over here and talk about the next project that we need to begin pretty much now. And that project is the Freezing Chambers. This is the last of the 3 major temples you need to build for the legendary birds. And as you can see, this one's going to be also a bit of a pain to kind of place down. Oh, especially because we can't. So my plan to take a break and then come back was good. It was justified because I couldn't have placed this down anyway. Fine, let's go crack open not the freezing chambers, the altar of flame. By the way, I know I mentioned the bridge and that other stuff at the beginning of today's episode, but you know, am I actually going to get to that today? I'm probably not today, right? No, I do want to get to it today. However, I'm still out of white paint. Perhaps my project should actually be to take all my crushing Pokemon and move them into one place so I can get them finally working on a lot more paint for me. Okay, how do I unveil this? I see somebody saying that's a wrap. And I think that's Tinkaton, who we need to talk to unveil this. Oh, you're inside. Oh, there's no roof on this. I can just see it before they unveil it. Okay, I've never actually tried to go into one of these while the walls were still up. Oh, that's wild. I wonder if I can meet Moltres before this thing is revealed. I don't want to break anything. I'm dead curious, but if that somehow bricks the game, I'm going to feel really dumb. Let's just do this the right way. Here we go. We're going to be behind the wall, which is really funny. There it is, though. Okay. Hey. This looks pretty good out here. I think this is a pretty good spot for it. Altar of Flame is complete, and as I suspected, there is enough room in the front for us to start making some kind of staircase up here or something. We don't even have to, you know. It can be unapproachable as well. Let's get in here and get our next legendary bird. Actually, do I want to do this? I don't have any place for Moltres to live right now. I already don't have Zapdos with a home because I kind of did the same thing. Yeah, all right, we'll do it. By the way, this is probably the most awesome of all three temples, in my opinion. I just think it's so cool to have like this like volcano built with like a pyramid built around it. But there we go, Moltres. We have Moltres and Zapdos, and we're about to have Articuno because that was the other temple, the other chamber we're gonna build. You know, I always felt bad, by the way, the three legendary birds from the Kanto region. They never get to relax. You know what I mean? Like they always have to have their wings spread out like this constantly. This is the default for all three legendary birds. They're always in T-pose. And that's gotta be exhausting after a while. I think it's because they're supposed to look big and threatening, right? They're legendary birds. How do we make them look more legendary? Well, let's have them constantly be in this like stance of like, don't mess with me. There we are though. We got another legendary bird, and I really got to find a place that makes sense. I guess you can follow me out of here. Can we like temporarily place Moltres in something, some kind of house, so that we can at least, you know, say, hey, like I have a real house for you at some point without having to guess where they are currently. Oh, and everybody left too. Oh well, that's okay. We don't need them here. Yeah, let's be real lazy. I'm gonna make a grass habitat right here. And that's where you're going to live. Over the next couple days, we're going to be housing more Pokemon, so, you know, we'll be back. But all right, the Altar of Flame is built, and now I can start playing around with the next big temple. So as I was saying, we are going to be putting this up here. There's a few reasons for this. One, I'll be honest, I just don't know what to do with this biome. It's in the middle of everything. It's probably the smallest of all the biomes, and like if I want to build a town, it's going to have to be right here. And I already have a city right there. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And of course, we need to find like a suitable location for this temple. And there's a bunch of blocks back there that look like they're made of ice. So that was kind of my thought process. So that's what we're going to do. Now, this temple's kind of nice because it's nowhere near as deep as the other ones. Like the depth is a lot easier to work with. So we don't have to destroy the quote unquote ice blocks behind it. We can't imagine it though because of all the junk in the way, but this is the you know, footprint. It's not going to take up too much space. We just clear out all this land here and we're ready to go. Originally, I was thinking of having it center on this road, right? So you'd have this road go up here, so there'd be a staircase right here, and then the center of that chamber would be right here. But that's just, yeah, I don't know. would be difficult to do for a number of reasons. Of course, the dimensions probably won't line up. We'll have to find the perfect spot for it. We'll have to probably get rid of that little hill, which I really like, actually. It kind of separates the areas really nicely. So we're going to have the path come up here, and then it's just going to simply come over and up to the big staircase for this chamber. The other reason I like it in this spot is because it's going to loom over this city in a really big but really cool, ominous way. So next thing we need to do is just clear this all out. Actually, first of all, let's just see what we need. And yeah, sure enough, I don't know if I have ice. There is a really good chance we actually can't build this because I forgot about that. I think how I got ice in single player was actually finding Suicune, and there was ice in that like chamber that they were in, and I was able to steal that. And that's how I got my hands on some ice. If it turns out I don't have any at all, I will look it up and see if any of it is obtainable today. Otherwise, it's just gonna have to be a priority before we end the challenge. We'll do our best. Ooh, one thing that is a bit of a shame is that we actually ran this into some of the homes that we have for Pokemon. So remember when I said I need to like take my crushing Pokemon and put them somewhere? We might need to do that right now with our friend Pupitar. I don't know if they like the same things, but I think I'm gonna have Pupitar and Geodude live in the same house for right now. They both have the crush ability, and I think putting the Pokemon that can crush things in the biome where all the fossils and stuff are, I think that's just where I'm gonna put them. I wanna say it makes sense. It doesn't. I don't know why it would. Maybe because if you're doing like archaeology, you're crushing rocks a lot and stuff. So it's like I'm coming over there and saying, hey, archaeologists, I see you have tools to crush things, and I know you're crushing rocks and stuff, but while you're at it, do you mind crushing some berries for me and then giving me the dye? Oh, money? No, I don't have money. Anyway, here's the berries. See ya. Geodude's walking around the corner right now. Be like, oh, I hope I'm not about to get a roommate that I didn't get to vet at all. Oh boy. Yeah, let's get out of here before they start throwing hands. And see, if I was really efficient, I would give both of them berries right now. But guess what? I don't have any berries on me at the moment. So, that's why I'm not doing that. I'm trying to clear this at super speed, and I think I'm learning how to use this. If you just hit the sprint button while you're in Graveler form, you get this like speed boost. But if you let go of the trigger, you can still speed up. You can still like move at this speed, but you're not going to destroy everything. Like I can run into this and not destroying it. This is kind of nice. I usually just let everything get destroyed because I'm holding down the trigger the whole time. All right, where's the corner? There it is. Perfect. Yeah, this is going to be so much easier to place down. Okay, this is completely dug out. I almost had to destroy even more habitats. I came just short of doing that. And my inventory is also full. But we're going to run back home anyway to see if we have those ice blocks. And if we don't, we'll have to figure something out. Okay, good news. I have 14 ice blocks. That's not enough ice blocks, but it means it's possible to get more. And after looking it up, it does appear that a Clefairy Island will have what I need. So we are gonna have to put this project on hold until tomorrow, but that's okay because everything else is done. All we have to do tomorrow is go to Clefairy Island, grab some ice, and then come back and start it. In the meantime, we can take inventory of our crushing Pokemon, and we have just a few. We have the baby fossil Pokemon. They can crush stuff, and I kind of already have a home for them. And then we have Pupitar and Geodude, who we just moved in, they're roommates now. And then, interestingly, Dugtrio and Electivire. But neither of them, like the rest of the Pokemon in their line, who we have, I don't think I have Electabuzz, but I think I have Elekid here, maybe. Yeah, they don't seem to be popping up as like crush Pokemon. We know we have Diglett, and Diglett doesn't crush either. Ideally, I would just have all the baby fossil Pokemon, and I think also the Pokemon in the middle of those lines also crush. I know all of them crush for me in one place in the museum, but that's probably not an option. And I'm looking in here, I don't see any more like fossils. I have not been getting a lot of fossils at all, so I'm not seeing any more in here that would lead to a new fossil Pokemon to help me. So perhaps it's time to do something that I've been putting off since day one. We're gonna feed Moslack some fluffy bread, just in case. And for the first time ever, I'm going to use the dowsing machine. I've never used this before. I don't know how to use this. I literally never used it before. I'm gonna see how it works. So I assume I just like hold A, and I have a search Pokemon with me. And I remember people saying if the Pokemon had fly, that was like really OP. So maybe I'm already doing this wrong? Oh, interesting. Okay, so I hold the button, and then I walk over somewhere, and then I let it go. I don't think there's anything around here. Okay. how big of a radius is this? Look over there. Okay, wait a minute. Over where? By the ripples in the water? Oh, there goes Pidgey. Okay, wait a minute. Let's look over there. What is that? But where? Here? Or do I continue going this way? So I'm basically just going in this direction, and I don't know when it's gonna finally let me dig something up. I bet there's something below us here. Okay, wait a minute. So right where you're standing? Okay, I punched the rock, and no, there was nothing. What are we talking about right now? Is it the block in front of you? Oh, wait, I hear it. Okay, I see. All right. And it's a fossil. It's the Despot fossil tail, which I might actually need up in the area where all the fossils are. Okay, so I think I'm getting the hang of this a little bit more. I don't have to hold the button down. I just have to tap it, and then it beeps, and then Pidgey continues going in a certain direction, and then I go in that direction for a little while, and then I just kind of like get up somewhere and I hit it again. Or about right here. All right, so Pidgey's looking right here, which means I guess I dig down in this spot. Yep, this time it was just a music disc though. All right, at first I was not enjoying this item. I was thinking, wow, I'm glad I avoided this item. It's not very fun, but it's now yielding some results. What's this? A mysterious slate. Okay, I'm excited about that. I'd say what's really nice about this item is that it seems like there's enough stuff buried underground where you can just kind of like find something and hit the button in that same spot, and it'll lead you on your quest to your next item. Or I'm just getting incredibly lucky, or these items have been waiting to be found for a long time, and once I find a bunch of them, it's going to be days before they restock themselves. I don't know. Pidgey wants to go over here now. Something below us here. Where? Okay, this is a bit confusing. Maybe it's down here? Okay, I eventually found it. It's just not helpful when Pidgey's like 10 feet above us. So yeah, it seems like the pros are you will definitely find some items, which is good, especially for the position we're in right now. The biggest con I see is like the tedium of it, but also like having to replace the blocks. If you're like me and you want to keep the landscape nice, replacing the blocks is a little bit annoying. This is cool though. Pidgey's finding stuff really fast. I'd recommend not doing this near water, because having it appear underwater is very much a pain. I found that the hard way. We got another fossil. This time it's another shield fossil head, which we did already have. The other interesting thing too is it keeps having me backtrack too. I was already digging in this area, and then it had me go over there. Now it's back here, and I'm wondering if this thing is like oh, here's something. Is this what it's finding? I wonder if it's generating new items or if it's finding stuff that's always been there. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I want to dig up one more thing, and then I want to go see if this fossil is one that completes a set. All right, so there's just another artifact. Let's go ahead and head over here to see if this tail is one we needed. I guess it kind of depends. What is this? This is indeed the Despot fossil. So I do not have the Despot fossil head, but we have the tail now. So that's good. That we're one step closer to completing another large dinosaur project. We need 2 more for this one, I think. So we still got a ways to go before we get a stone generating Pokemon, and at this rate, it doesn't matter as much, at least in terms of the 30 days. Ooh, I see something over there. But now I know how to use the dowsing machine, and it's definitely something you could do, I think, while like kicking back, relaxing, listening to like an audiobook or something, and just like passively finding stuff. And I may do that before the 30 days is up to see if I can work a little bit more towards that goal of getting all the mysterious slates. This one will go right here, and yeah, you know, one slate closer. Well, we have our work cut out for us for sure. Tomorrow we need to get some ice for this build, and hopefully we can find enough to get us up to 50. And we also need to work on some more unfinished projects, perhaps move some Pokemon into some apartments. There's a lot to do and not much time left to do it. But we'll work on it tomorrow. If that video is ready, it's on screen right over there. So go check it out, and I will see you next time.